Hello, this is Dread from Epoch Builds, and in today's video topic is more of a channel update than anything. Do people still do these things? I don't know. We're doing one now though. So if you just want to know what this video is about, TLDR is I am playing a lot of different ARPGs at the moment and plan on playing some others too, and we'll be making videos on them. The Ghostlore video I did earlier seemed to be well received, so I hope this means I can start working on other games as well as Last Epoch while keeping it the main game of the channel. If you want to keep watching, I will go more in depth on my plans for the future of this channel and what work there is to be done. So, first things off, I enjoyed my time with Ghostlore. The game has been great so far. It has its own fair share of problems, but a lot of them have already been fixed day 2, day 3, and I really enjoy how simple the gameplay is. While the glyph system has a lot of potential of being one of the most interesting progression systems I've seen in an RPG with all the Tetris-y kind of stuff with it. I'm currently leveling a Geomancer, and I'm trying to work out how elemental effects work in Ghostlore, which seem mystic at best. Hopefully one day I can transition into the Fireball build I've been wanting to, but it's really difficult as of the moment. I'm leveling as a Radiant Spear Sentinel, of course, as that's really easy to level with, and it should carry me until I'm able to transition. Ghostlore really does just come running out of the gate, and hopefully it keeps running, and it's probably going to get a lot more content soon. Another game I've kept my eyes on is, of course, Slormancer. I've played this game about a year ago, and it was in a very beta-like state at that point. It has officially sprung its wings and now has what it takes to start playing it more seriously and making content on it. So hopefully we can make more videos on this. I'm currently playing some kind of throwing sword, bleed pop setup on Warrior, as my first Slore Reaper I got on this character was the Sharpshooter, which gives us a ton of projectiles while we stand still, hence why I'm standing still constantly in the footage. The build has me hyped, as we could easily be popping the whole screen at once with some proper setup. Slormancer is definitely a solid choice of a game on my list of early access ARPGs to work on, and there will definitely be more videos about this game soon because I'm really in love with the crafting system, and I think Last Epoch can learn a thing or two from it. Eventually, I want to work on some Grim Dawn. It seems not really worth it technically, as it's a little old and it's a little solved, but the modding scene seems to be really good on it, and I also have just never played it, so it would all be new to me. Not new to you guys, of course, the veterans, but it would be new to me. I haven't bought it yet, and if you guys want to see Grim Dawn stuff on the channel, of course, please let me know down in the comments. I really want to try it eventually, and it's just been on my list forever, and I just need to kind of take the plunge and spend the first few weeks working on it. Of course, the Path of Exile League is coming in a month. I'll probably play it like I normally do, about 2 to 3 weeks or so. I will begin preparations towards that soon, and I'll probably end up playing like a character or two, maybe even longer this time around. But I am really enjoying Last Epoch right now, and like I might actually end up skipping this league just to keep working on Last Epoch, because I have a lot of work to do, and hopefully you guys agree with that. And last but not least, of course, is Last Epoch, what I plan on keeping the main game of the channel, of course, the main breadth of content. I have a lot of builds to work on in Last Epoch still. I'm nowhere near done, but with the new method of build creation, where I spend much longer on each build and fill the fluff in between with other videos of other games and other stuff, this means I won't run out of new builds to make anytime soon. I enjoy heavily the changes to stability and the new uniques, although it has to be said that the popularity of this patch was very low, and I can definitely feel it on my side. This just gives me more of an excuse to work on different games and diversify my work between Last Epoch and other stuff. I'm currently working on Projectile Skeleton Necromancer 2.0 with the new offhand and an update to that build that is almost a year and a half old now. It's very hype building because skeletons have been awful ever since Empowered Monoliths hit the game, so having a skeleton archer build being viable again and T4 viable as well, T4 Drilla viable, makes me very happy and hopeful for the future of this archetype. The next section is going to be more of a kind of a Q&A section of questions I've gotten a lot about, so we're going to just answer those real quick. First thing off, what are your impressions of Diablo 2 Resurrected and the new Diablo 3 season, yada yada yada? I'll be honest, I have never played Diablo 3. I've played Diablo 2, I've played Diablo 2 modded, and I really enjoyed that. Diablo 2 Resurrected looks cool, and I might eventually work into it, but I'm waiting for everything to be ironed out about it, and it seems like as though the development team like actually wants to put new content into the game, which I'm really all hyped for, because one of the biggest problems I have with Diablo 2 is, of course, it's a solved game, so it's not really much of a discovery process to be had. So it's nice to see that there's going to be new stuff to work on. So maybe one day I will buy it, I'll get into it, and hopefully there will be videos on that on the channel, but I do not promise it. The second most commonly asked question I get is, why do I enjoy doing this? Why do I do this? Why do I make videos on YouTube about Last Epoch and all this stuff? Well, it's obviously not for the money, as you know. Like, I don't really make much off of this. That's not really like why I do this. I do this for passion. I actually been asked, it's like, why do you do this? Well, making all these builds for Last Epoch and other games, I like working towards a project, talking about said project, then teaching others what I've learned. I really like teaching others, and this gives me an outlet for doing that, other than, you know, of course, teaching, which I don't have a degree for. So instead of teaching kids, I'm going to teach like people on the internet, and that seems to be working so far. And that has allowed me to feel like as though I have a little bit of a purpose in life outside of just my normal, you know, goings and twos and stuff. And I've really been enjoying it so far. This has really been a passion project, and it's blossomed into something that I'm actually going to cherish for pretty much the rest of my life at this point. So a common question I get, so on my stream, I do help build review stuff. So for instance, someone will bring me their build, I will review it and help them fix it, because people seem to gravitate towards me to fix their stuff because I play this game too much. And the first two questions I ask, well, the first question I ask is, where did you get your build? Because 9 times out of 10, it's coming from 2 different sources, and both of them are really suboptimal. Either they got their guide from YouTube, or they got it from the forums. And the problem with this is, much like in Path of Exile land, with like lieu of the scandals of like with fast as fuck and all that kind of stuff, right? There's a lot of people that don't necessarily care about the quality of their product, and they care more about, you know, the YouTube side of things, of like how well their videos do and stuff like that. So they will go out of their way to edit their files or hide modifiers on the game so that you can't see how bad their build actually is, because they're more interested in pushing out content than they are with teaching people. And that's kind of why my videos end up being really long, and I'm like talking about the build, I'm talking about in depth the build, because I usually end up playing them long enough that I know what I'm talking about. And if you've been playing the game long enough, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about and know exactly who I'm talking about. Which is like, whatever. I don't want to like drag anyone's name in the bud, but at the same time, it's like, it's better for me to tell you guys so that you guys can avoid making your mistake. The usual excuse is, well, Dread, I don't have time to push corruption. Well, that's not really a concern anymore because of the Gaze of Orbis system, as it's much easier to push corruption now. So that just comes off as lazy now and downright malicious at some points. So I just want to make sure you guys know that there aren't really good builds in the community of late, at least in the YouTube side. It's been a problem for like a year and a half now, but just be wary of the modifiers on the right side of the screen, and you'll pretty much understand what I'm talking about. So just make sure you're looking at those. and be wary of what you find on YouTube. The third question I always get is, how do I support you? Like monetarily, yada, yada, yada. I don't want financial support. I do this as a passion project. I don't do this for financial support. I don't do this as my job. It's just more of a hobby that I do. Eventually it might become a job because, YouTube's ad revenue seems to be enough and you really want to, there's always the Twitch and you can always subscribe there. But mainly, most of my financial support from you guys is given to me from YouTube as ad revenue. Now, if you really want to help out the channel, just like and comment on the video you see. If you do that, that's all you really need. That's more worth than weight in gold at this point in terms of the YouTube algorithm. Just like and comment on the video. That's really it. That's all you need to do, in my opinion. Enough said, really, on that point. You can also come visit the Twitch as well. Twitch/Epoch Builds _TV. Come around sometimes, hang out. It's fun. I get to answer you guys' questions real time. You get to see my despair over crafting and stuff like that. It's a really fun time for everyone. Come hop by. But yeah, with all that being said, this has gone long enough. This has been Dread from Epoch Builds. Off to make more builds. See you guys next time. Bye.